that there's a crew in town. The head hillbillies are making their rounds. Small town whispers loud and clear. The sheriff shot the judge in his chambers chair.
Sheriff got a secret he won't keep. Judge shot dead in his disbelief. A lot of people have some stories to tell. Dark pass away, get the sound of a shotgun shell.
All the secrets spill on down. Voices loud in this old town. From the courthouse to the ground. Rumors fly and they can't be bound.
Neighbors hide behind their blinds. Whisper tales of troubled minds. Skeletons covering the mountainside. A treacherous reality in the pines.
Winter reveals the hidden lies. Moonlight couldn't mask their cries. Shadows caught in sunlit skies. There's no cover, no disguise. All the secrets spill on down. Voices loud in this old town. From the courthouse to the ground. Rumors fly and they can't be
Winter reveals the hidden lie. Moonlight could mask their cries. Shadows caught in sunlit skies. There's no cover, no disguise.
all the secrets spill on down. Voices loud in this old town. From the courthouse to the ground. Rumors fly and they can't be bound.
Hello, everybody. How are you this evening? We're starting it a little bit late tonight. Sorry, guys. We have basketball games. Well, if you've not been here before, this is Hillbilly Crime, and my name is Elizabeth. Sweet taters, these are just too late for her. She's already in the bed. But thank you all for being here, as always. One of the things that we like to do here is tell us where you're from. So we are from the Appalachian Mountains of southeastern Kentucky. Where are you from? We have a lot of regulars. So we have people from all over the world stops in here at our little Hillbilly channel. I think it went pretty well. My boy's knee and back are fine. Sometimes they want a little bit special attention, I guess. But let there be a game the next day and see if they play or not. And today's his birthday. This is his 14th birthday. My baby. All right, guys. We have been listening. If you've not been with us before tonight, we have been re-listening to the victims' interviews from the Benfield's investigation. And it hits me really, really hard when I listen to these, because the first time that we listened to them, I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to hear or to realize what we're hearing, but I don't remember it being so outrageous the first time that we listened to him. I think there was still some doubt there until we started going through our own little investigation here and just stumbling on unbelievable misconduct. I mean, just unbelievable. I know so much digging around and talking to so many people, getting more sources and more sources and more sources, credible sources, I might add, very credible sources. And it's just unbelievable. It's really unbelievable. I don't know how all of this stuff is going to come out. I tend to think that Mickey is probably telling his lawyer. I tend to think that Mickey's lawyer probably knows because of the way that he has answered questions in his interviews. And I think he's been very strategic in how he has answered certain questions at different times, at different stages of this process. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think that there will even be a trial? Or do you think that they will offer him a plea? If they offer him a plea, I don't think none of it will come out. And I don't think it'll come out through the court. And just in the normal way that trials go, you know, we don't even know what would be allowed in and what wouldn't be allowed in. So there's still a whole lot of unanswered questions that we're not going to have the answers to until we know more about the trial. Let's see, Snooks. Good evening, all. I'm up close to Maysville, Kentucky, Dover, Kentucky, close to a whopping 300 people. If everyone is home, I was born in Blackie. All right. Yeah, that's not too far from here. Dallas, Texas. Let's see, Eileen. I was born and raised in northern Kentucky, living for 45 years in Dublin, Ohio. Mommy's from Greenup County. My mom and dad both were from there originally. Let's see. Happy 14th birthday. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for our mods being with us so late. I'm sorry, ladies. Laurie says I'm a writer. I'm starting me a book. I've never written a book, of course, but I wrote a whole ton of papers in graduate school. So hopefully I retained some of those skills. But right now, I think it's just important to start getting ideas down on paper. We'll worry about editing later. Just get some of my thoughts and stuff down on paper and get it started. All right. Oh, Marnie says it's only 7:55 p.m. where she lives. Well, that's cool. So that fits in pretty good. Do you remember the Pulaski County Sheriff being unalived? I don't. I'm not very familiar with Pulaski County. So send something to me. hillbillycrime@gmail.com. Oh, I would think a trial, no matter how you feel about it. You would think that the prosecution wouldn't even offer a plea, for this being such a big case. You'd think that they would take it to trial. No doubt. No plea. But you never know. I think it's going to depend on how much they want to keep everything quiet. I think they will do anything to prevent Mickey from talking. I feel they will sit on this for a long time. I hope I'm wrong. Well, I think he would have already spoke to his attorney by now. But, I mean, we're just speculating, of course. We don't know anything really yet. William says, I don't understand why there's no investigation of all the corrupt people. Well, you tell me, honey, and we both know. It just baffles me. I think that there's a lot of embarrassment that would go along with it. Like if they were to really bust it open, I mean, like, I was thinking about the finances and stuff. All those donations and all that money that came in here during the flood, and just all of the grants and the money. All of that money came in here. And not just that. Every year that they do these audits, these financial audits, the same problems are being highlighted every single year. And the problems are not getting any better, right? Well, how long do you just let these people get away with this? You know, just one bad audit after another, year after year after year, and there's no accountability. There's no, you show us these receipts or tell us where this money went, or, you know, get in those accounts and see where that money went. You know, it doesn't, surely to God, it's going to show you this much money was taken out of this account and it went into this account. This much money was taken out of this account and it went into this account. You know, they have to be able to track that stuff. You can't just say, oh, well, we had $5 million in donations and we've only got 100,000 in receipts. Okay. Where is the accountability? Like, who comes in and says, no. You can't just keep doing this and doing this and doing this. You know, like, does it take our legislators to create a law? I mean, I don't know. I have no idea. But you would think that there would have to be some kind of accountability for this money. I mean, you know, you steal $10 off your neighbor, you're going to jail. Or if you trick some old man out of $50, theft by deception, receiving stolen property. I mean, there's a ton of these little crime, or well, they're not little, but there's a ton of charges that if it was me or you committing these kinds of acts, we're going to be held accountable. They're going to be knocking on our door saying, hey, we want to talk to you. We're missing a whole lot of money, and we want to know where it's at. I mean, what makes certain people so special that they don't even get asked? I don't know. I don't know, y'all. Hit that like button for us on your way in. We're going to listen to this second interview. Now, this one is Sabrina. Now, the one that we listened to last night, I told you before we even got started, and it was a really bad audio. But it was a bad audio anyway. because you had Ned Pillersdorf, which is her lawyer, and the other supposed detective that's there. You have them sitting there yapping for half of the interview. And the interview's an hour long, and they sit there for 35 minutes yapping and yapping and yapping, and they're not even talking about the case. They're talking about retirement, and they're talking about just shooting the breeze. That's all they're doing. But you can't hear her. You can't hear the interview. It was the most disrespectful and unprofessional. And this seems to be a very common practice in all this stuff. Just how unprofessional it is. If I had had a job and my work came out in something like this, and I had that many mistakes and that many I would be mortified. I would absolutely be mortified that my name, my professional name, would be associated with that kind of work, with that kind of, credibility. But I guess that's why nobody ever hired me. Even though when I took the competency exam, I scored the highest ever recorded score on a national test for competency in the law enforcement exam. But I guess I don't know nothing I'm talking about, and I don't have the right to even open my mouth and criticize nothing. Okay. Exodus 20 ain't what they believe. I don't know if I quite understand that, Kurt. I know that's a book in the Bible, in the Old Testament. But I'm not exactly familiar with that. It's been a while since I've read it. Look here, Karen Jones, Yorkshire, England. Here, it's 3:59 and stumbled on a live. Thank you for your hard work. Massive respect and admiration for being so real and sharing your story. Well, thank you, Miss Karen. Thank you. Thank you for being here. We are so pleased to have you. That's awesome. England. Miss Millie, good evening, beautiful people. Okay. We won't waste any more time. We will pull this up. And remember, I can't mute myself on these audio recordings without it knocking the whole audio out. So, sorry, my dog's outside barking. Okay. Now, don't you start. This is the second interview for Sabrina. And let me just kind of play it up here and show you and tell you. So she comes back in that first interview. She tells him that she has an ankle bracelet at home. She still has an ankle bracelet. And so remember what he was saying to her. We got to have evidence. We got to have evidence to corroborate your story. Well, in this recording, she's bringing him evidence. She's brought him physical evidence. So let's see how he talks to her in this one.
So you brought an ankle monitor, and he gave this to you?
Yeah, that's what I went to jail with.
That's what you had on when you went to jail?
And I didn't know what to do with it.
But that's not been on as far as you know? And when you said, like, when you started this, the flirtation, I guess, you had your bracelet on.
Yes.
So when you got out of jail, you met him.
He met me at the jail for the bracelet.
Met Ben, right?
Right at the jail.
right at the jail, as soon as you got out.
Yes.
He put your bracelet on.
Yes.
So you kept your bracelet on for a while.
Yes.
Then the relationship developed.
Mhm.
How long after the relationship developed, like from the time you got out of jail to the time that he first took your bracelet off?
I'd say 6 weeks, because I told the court I wanted to go rehab. And I couldn't afford to, the bracelet, and I paying in motion after motion. And finally they said I could go to rehab, but still had to pay for it. And that was the original reason, I think anyway, in my head, or I want to believe that he took it off, because I was going to go to rehab.
So the court system allowed you to go to rehab.
Yes, they think I had my bracelet on. Court never knew my bracelet was off, ever. But I'm told the judge. He was meeting me the day before, and actually the second time I got arrested for driving in Pike County, I had court that day, and I was late, and I to the judge and told him I had to pull a sanction for something, before, and they had a special hearing for me at 2:00 a day.
So you're out, he about 6 weeks after you get out, you meet him. Is that one of the first encounter, you told me
That
last
was
time you had 3 encounters with him of a sexual relationship. When the first one, is that when he took the bracelet off? So from the time you got out of jail, approximately 6 weeks after that is when the first sexual encounter took place, and he removed the bracelet. All right, what did he do with that bracelet? Did he give it to you to say hold on to, or did he just keep it?
He kept it. He usually kept it every time. When I had told him that Chantelling on him, I said, "You better give me a bracelet." And that's when he was getting.
All right, so now after the 6 weeks, you've met him. He's took your bracelet off. Does he ever put it back on?
The day before court, I usually meet him the night before court, by court.
So like if you had like just a court date on your regular charge, did you call and say, hey, I've got a court date?
And he called me too. Because I'm real big on keeping my court dates. He said, meet me at, 8 o'clock at the courthouse, or, whatever. Or I'll leave the courthouse unlocked and I'll be there shortly. And it was always the night before my court hearings.
Yeah, I want to say this. I'm going to stop this too. Allegedly, Lisa, relationship. If he had said that to me, I would have lost it. I would have too. I would have put him right in his place. But these women, they're not educated. They don't. The only thing that they know of the criminal justice system is what they've lived already. They're used to it being unfair. They're used to them always getting the short end of the stick, and they were pretty much scared to death. But, that's one reason why, this show has developed the way that it has. The people who want to remain anonymous and not put their face out there for fear, they don't have to. They can come to me and I'll speak it. I'll speak their story, and it'll be my big old mug on there.
How many court days do you remember having to do that?
At least, probably 4 or 5, because I've made 3 different motions myself of my record.
Now, every court date, was there a sexual relationship that occurred prior?
No.
So you may have court tomorrow and you just may meet him real quick somewhere and he'd throw it back on.
Yeah. But we always met at the courthouse, always.
Always at the courthouse.
Yeah, in the judge's chambers, always.
Even to put it on.
Yes. Mm-hmm. and take it off. Always there.
Okay, so now we're going to court. He has met you at the courthouse the night before. Is that typically how it went?
Yeah.
Puts the bracelet back on. You go to court. Then what happens?
I call him when I get out of court. Where do you want me to make you to get this bracelet? Once he let me actually cut it off. Because he kept making me.
So you meet him back at the courthouse the day after court or that day or
Yeah.
something. And then he would take the bracelet back off
You keep it.
and he would keep it. Now, as far as you know, how do you know the bracelets are on or off?
There's usually a light and you have a charger, you have to charge them.
Okay. So when you get out, he puts that first bracelet on. That's 6 weeks that's on you. Are you paying that fee?
Mhm.
So you paid it for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
All right. So then you meet him, you had a sexual relationship. He takes the bracelet off. When he puts it back on,
Why does he say that?
do you have to charge that? Do you think the bracelet was on? Do you think he's turned it off? So the rest of the time it's turned off.
Usually Patty calls you, shows you charge your bracelet or, Patty
this-
for being
The
called.
bracelet that you have there,
Mhm.
that was one of those last times that you've met him, you've had court, he gave you that
No,
bracelet.
not for court. I called him and told him I thought on the tail. And I said, you better give me a bracelet, something what, I was scared to death. I didn't know what to do. And so I made him give me a bracelet for that reason.
So once, like you said there yesterday or the day before yesterday, you,
So, if anybody didn't catch that, she was threatening Ben to tell. She was threatening to tell what Ben had been doing. Excuse me. Because he had put her in a really bad position. She didn't have an ankle monitor on, and he had taken it off. And so to go back to court, she had to have an ankle monitor on. And so there she was without an ankle monitor. She was scared. She didn't know if he was, he had already been doing all of these escape warrants on these girls. But she had kept this one ankle bracelet.
you said that we found out your boyfriend talking about that.
Mhm.
You let Ben know, and that's when everything, so then you said, hang on, everybody knows about us and our relationship. You told him that, right?
Mhm.
And then you tell Ben, I need a bracelet.
Yeah.
Okay. What did he tell you about that? Did he say anything? Hey, you need the bracelet, I'll get this to you, or he just, what?
I told him that and he said, no. Where are you going to be at this evening? And I went, maybe. Bracelet. He really didn't say a whole lot about, telling or, going to tell. He didn't give any kind of opinion on it. He'd always tell me to stay away from her bed or blah, blah, blah,
Did, was that bracelet active?
I never had a charger, but there's no way it could be, as long as I had it.
Now, the other day you said that the reason that you started the relationship with Ben is because you had heard rumors that if you had relationships with him or that you could, wouldn't have to pay your fees and wouldn't have to wear the bracelet and you can do what you want. And you gave me a name, but that you don't know her personally. Do you know anybody personally like that that this has happened to, or is this just rumors you heard in the jail?
Just rumors. And I know that Chad Brown, He went on house arrest, but he does have some videotapes of some stuff in the judge's chambers,
What kind of stuff?
just with girls' sexual and stuff.
What describe? Have you seen the videos?
I've seen one partly, and just him having sex with girls for the bail to get out of jail.
Who was having sex?
Ben and just some higher ups up there,
Who?
judge and.
Now, you saw the video. What did you see on the video? I mean, you
I mean, I've seen Judge Mullins.
who was the girl?
I don't know a lot of people from
Where was it at?
his office in the judge's chambers.
Is that the same place that you were meeting then? Is that how you know it was the judge's chambers? And this was Judge who? But you don't know who the girl was.
She was not from here. Sabrina was from Pike County, our neighboring county. She was not from here. So she knew a few people, but she didn't know the players here, like somebody who was from here. I've seen some video. I've seen one video myself of somebody in that circle that was in that courthouse almost every single day. There's also, how many people around here knew that one of the lawyers down there in town allegedly had a massage table set up in their lawyer's office? Had it all set up like you were going into a masseuse appointment. Do you know how many women who was trying to get divorced, just trying to get them a divorce attorney? Oh, let me just massage your shoulders. Let me massage your shoulders. If you'll just lay down there on that table and let me give you a real good massage. I'm telling you, the stuff that I have uncovered and stumbled upon will curl your toes. And these investigators didn't even, just didn't believe these women? Well, I wonder how much of this is going to come out before trial.
What was this guy's name again?
Chad Brown.
Do you know Chad Brown?
Yeah, I do. He's on the run. He's hiding. They shot at him and everything.
Who has?
What's the thing? John Kitchen.
What was he on the run for?
I don't know. I look at that. I don't know.
Why would he have a video of the judge having sex with
He's
somebody?
got several. I don't know how he got them. I didn't ask. Listen, I know too much over there. That is a place. I try not to know. I don't know how he got them, but he does have some. And he's got an attorney that I can't remember, maybe in Somerset, that knows about it too.
But you saw the video of the judge. Any other video that you actually saw?
The one that I've seen is not of the judge, but it is in that circle. Sent them to 100 people over the years or more. There ain't just one video out there, but, you know, a lot of people erase that stuff, you know, because how many, I don't know hardly any women that really welcome those pics from men. It's usually very surprised. You know, you're talking to somebody 1 second and then the next second they just shoot you one of them pictures and it just burns your eyeballs. You know, nobody wants to see that. But if it's somebody who's in a position of power, you know, I had this one fella that I would try to talk to him all the time because I was trying to get in that circle. You know, I was trying to get me a job. I was trying to just get a foot in the door. And so I would reach out to him anytime I had a new idea or a new something. Business. It was all business. Oh, honey, I can't tell you how many of them pics he'd send me. And married. They don't care if they're married. They don't care. They'll send them under the clothes, over the clothes. They don't care. It's like some kind of a orn pay addiction, you know? And unfortunately, there's a whole lot of people around here that, I don't even think it's around here. I think it's around the world. But doing it here, I don't know. You just really don't need to be an elected official or somebody in a very powerful position or in any position in a church or in a courthouse. It's just not, it's not a good look, It's not a good look. But they just keep on with their lives, putting that mask on, trying to fool everybody. Well, they're fooling people, all right. They are. It's sad, too.
Say that the Sheriff Vicky Stines is involved. I don't know.
Who said that?
Chad, he does. Mickey used to do the same thing when he was over Pasadena.
And then Chad has, so you've not seen any videos of Ben?
No.
But you saw the judge. Do you know for sure that was the judge? I mean, how do you know that's the judge?
I'll be in front of him. His face is pretty clear on there.
He sounds pretty surprised, doesn't he? He don't really know what questions to ask to knock it down now. Oh my gosh, this guy just gets under my skin. I wouldn't trust no investigation that had his name on it for nothing. Not after this.
But you don't know who the female was. Would Chad be willing to meet me? Could you get a hold of him and maybe even let him call me? Or could you get him to send you those? Is it on his phone or?
No, they're cassette tapes.
They're cassette tapes. Like a cassette, did you?
VHS.
Like a VHS, like a big one?
Yeah. He goes back.
And just to address that too, I was told that those were used for a very, very long time down there. So I don't know. I don't know how true that is. But I was told that they did use those for a long time. And if you think about it, none of these places around here want to spend a dime to upgrade any kind of technology. All you have to do is look at our fiscal court. The only way you can watch any of those meetings is if you have a certain kind of cable around here. You have to pay for a certain kind of cable, and they have a government channel. And that's the only way you can see anything that involves the fiscal court. They don't have a YouTube channel. They don't have a website that you can go to where you can look at it. And it's not the little feller who videos and records the meetings. It ain't his fault. He uses his own equipment. He doesn't get no stipend. He doesn't get paid for equipment from our fiscal court. You'd think that they would take a little bit of that money that they've gotten and they would upgrade equipment, and they would make sure that these meetings were accessible to the citizens of this county, because nobody goes to those meetings. I mean, it's pointless, really. And nobody's really able to watch any of the recordings. And if you reach out and ask them, they don't have it. The feller who does it, he doesn't have updated equipment to where he can just send you a link. He has to burn a DVD, CD, and what what computers even have a place to put a DVD anymore. None of mine do. My desktop, my laptop, nothing of mine has a spot to put a DVD in. So I don't think most people will have the ability to even watch a recording of a meeting. It wouldn't take a whole lot to fix that. So why make it so hard for people just to watch a recording of the meeting, of the monthly fiscal court meeting? Unless you don't want people watching, because then you don't want to have to answer any questions.
A long time. I don't know, he's got videotapes for 15 years. I don't know. I've seen one for sure.
And when did you see? How long has that been?
She said that he told her that he had videotapes that went back 15 years.
A couple months ago.
Exactly.
Do you think that you could get that video?
Maybe.
What would you do with it?
I gotta go over that way today to the doctor. I'm scared that, but I'll try because I was planning on see Chad. Or at least maybe try to talk to him and him call me. You know something. I was gonna have him call my attorney because basically was wanting to talk to him. He's real, skittish and stuff. And I'm everywhere. I don't blame him. You know.
Well, yeah, obviously, but if you could get that video or videos of anything that that you think is necessary.
But that won't, nobody even won't say that I got it right. I mean, that place is dirty over there. And, it kind of scares me.
Which we're not saying the judge has done anything wrong.
Right, exactly.
I'm
getting your video and then it's your call. What happened?
Did you hear him? He said nobody's saying the judge did anything wrong. And she just told him what she told him. So he's trying real hard. His wheels are turning real fast how he can fix this. I mean, I don't know how this is not witness tampering. Who can't read? Who can listen to this and think that he is not manipulating these women in their interviews? I mean, I'm speechless at the gall that he would even do that.
Might be his girlfriend. I don't know.
See, now she's scared because she knows. She knows.
Like I said, my only goal is to make sure this don't happen to somebody else. I struggle with it real bad.
and that's what we're trying to figure out is, the rumors, who I could go talk to else other than you. That's why I'm asking.
Other than her, you've had 3 victims come forward. You've had 3 interviews with 3 different victims who've all said the exact same thing. Man, every time I listen to these guys, I get so upset. And I don't know how not to get upset. Like, this is absolutely just unbelievable that they think this little of women in this area. It ain't just them. They think of all women this way. All women. These ones are just their victims.
What is the girl's name?
Sexual victims.
That being has made sexual victims to her.
once you leave here today, what is going to be the best number to get up with you?
I had another phone and it was messed up. I had all this time with telephone.
And there was somebody called me and said that you were going to be late. And that's it. And to clarify, when Ben's uncle started calling you, and what did Ben tell you when you confronted Ben and said, "Hey, your uncle's calling"? What did he say?
Really not much. He said that he's made he can help because I was worried to death about my charges, being on his house arrest. He said, no, he can help his charges.
That's all he said.
Yeah. Or I said, your uncle's perfect. And he said, yeah, he kind of laughed.
She said she told Ben your uncle's an Irvert pay. And he said, yeah, I know. But he can help you with your charges. What's he helping her with her charges about? Because she's been charged upstairs, downstairs over the same thing. Same case, upstairs and downstairs. She did go through with the old man. So Ben pimped her out to his uncle. And he gave her money. I don't know how. They just ignored that. But they've ignored a whole hell of a lot in this investigation.
But he never told you to do any kind of sexual favor to him. Is there any, did Ben ever send you any pictures or anything of him? Is there any of the messages, because there's a bunch, I've not had a chance to go through them, that Ben talks about having a sexual relationship with you or anything that I need to really, when I go through the messages,
Right.
and if I don't see something, I don't want to make sure, I don't want to miss anything. So I'm trying to, is there anything in there that he always said, anything sexual in nation towards you that he sent to you?
No, not really, because he was usually called. Because one thing, and that was probably a couple of weeks ago, he told me that he said, I always had Norris do like the physical part of like the drugs and everything. And he said, he has me on telephones. He said, so never put nothing on the phone. You don't want nobody to see. But you see, so he would always, most time he would call.
So Ben told her not to ever put anything on a phone that you didn't want anybody else to see. That was real great advice, Ben. Real great advice. You might ought to take your own advice. God, that's why I said, if they pulled search warrants on all of these guys' phones, they'd find it all, because I guarantee you, they were so sloppy and confident that they had protection from anything. I just about bet it. Which we're speculating, of course. All for entertainment purposes.
He takes his was at the beginning, and then he got to the
So he told you never to put anything on the phone?
Yeah. That's when Justin Lucas had got arrested. And he told me, hey, he's arrested, he's right, say that.
There you go. Ben was calling her, telling her, this dude's a rat. Stay away from him. That's another big thing that I've stumbled upon, is how informants are used. So you can take a statement, a written statement from somebody that you pull over on the side of the road, find some rugs on them, and you start asking them, where'd you get that from? And they say, oh, well, I just got it up here at this house. This person up here gave it to me. You willing to write a statement on that? Well, sure, if I ain't got to go to jail. So you write a statement, or they write a statement, so-and-so, I just left their house. I know they've got it, And then they go to serve a search warrant on that house. So if they can do that with a statement, why couldn't they do that with these? Why is it okay to investigate one, but not the other? Very, very telling, isn't it? I got a whole bunch of documents today, new documents.
Now, as part of your bond conditions, I guess, is wearing that bracelet. Were you allowed to go anywhere in the state, or were you supposed to stay in Letcher, or could you go to Pikeville? What do you remember?
I could go in Kentucky, but I always had to get permission for anything. If you walked outside that door, you could get permission. I was not supposed to catch any more charges. I caught 3 charges, which was driving. I can say that because I've been fighting for my license forever.
So you got 3 while he was supposed to be monitoring you, taking your bracelet on and off, you caught 3 more charges.
3.
Do you remember what the charges were?
Driving on with no license or something like that. And then one time I had 500 dollars on me, I think, and they caught me.
Possession. And that was in Letcher, or was
That
it?
was a pipe.
So Pikeville.
Yeah, that was how I told you they are down in the pod matched me for my bracelet was not from his home cap. You know, it was like a so sometimes I listen to it and I'm like, this can't be real.
She said, this can't be real.
It makes me crazy here. I was supposed to be just a minute. And she said, I don't know if they had a sexual relationship or whatever, but there was some, symptom. And then she went to jail right after that. And his wife, was sergeant. And I beat the crap out of her. She had for 90 days over it.
So he was asking her about if she knew anybody else. And she said, this girl got arrested, went to jail, and Ben's wife beat the crap out of her in the jail because she was a sergeant or something. She was some authority in the jail. And she beat the crap out of her, and the girl got 90 days in jail. That's what she just said.
Do you know this person?
I can be in jail.
But you don't know her enough to say you can call me?
Yeah, I'm not going to say that. Yeah, I don't problem. The day she got out, she had been out long. She had messaged me on Facebook.
Do you think you could get her to call me if she has something she wants to say? We're willing to listen to anybody.
Well, she was wanting to. She said, you give her my name. She said, this place is dirty, and it is. It's and what's really funny, like, city police and Pikeville, nobody knows that they're like, it's a dirty county. And I'm like, well, then why ain't somebody done something about it before now?
Yeah, why hasn't somebody done something before now? Everybody thinks that this is just BS, that this couldn't been happening. And that's why it keeps happening, because nobody has a spine. Where is the justice in the justice system in Letcher County, Kentucky, in Whitesburg, Kentucky? Where's the justice in the justice system? Each one of these victims, in each one of these interviews, they've given names of witnesses, they've given phone numbers, they've told them that all of these people are willing to talk. Something's stinky here. This ain't passing the smell test at all. So if this is so outrageous for us to sit here and listen to, where's our leaders? Where are the people that we have elected to represent us? And I'm talking our leaders, the ones that keep appointing these people, the ones who keep these people in their position. Are you serious? You condone this behavior? You're just okay with there allegedly being a dungeon in the bottom of a courthouse where they just pick and choose women to pull out at any time that they want to pull them out? They're not doing stuff in front of other inmates. They pull them out and they take them out of there. We're willing to listen to anybody, he said. Really? Because you haven't listened to one word any of these women said? Oh, you got Ben to plead guilty. Well, guess what? If he hadn't been such a dumb butt and confessed, I don't think this case would have even been brought. If he would have said not guilty, I want an attorney, when they questioned him, this wouldn't have went nowhere, I don't think.
If you could get up with her, if you want to pass my number, you still got my card.
I did. Well, I left it with him. Can I have another one? I'm blessed with a wonderful landlord, and his wife has really have faith in me and gave me a second chance because I don't have any. And he sees how hard I struggle, and he's seen all that was going on. He's like, nobody will believe you. And we had the judge called him the other day and said, I'm really sorry since I had just went through all this.
What judge?
Judge Hall, she don't.
Judge Keith Hall is the one that we did the show on last week, where he got reprimanded for things that he was saying and stuff. I don't know. I got tickled at him. I kind of liked his responses to his reprimand. But that's who she's talking about. So he called and said, I hate that she's going through this. Well, that was awful nice of him. I wonder if that was one of the calls he got reprimanded for.
But you don't know anything about why the judge, his name has got brought up. You don't know anything.
Did you just hear that? Now, she just told him that she saw a video that had the judge in it. And now he's saying, you don't know why the judge would be talked about in this, do you? You don't know why, do you? And then she's like, no. This ought to be criminal. This, I don't know how this is not a criminal act.
You're just hearing rumors.
That's a shame, buddy. What a shame.
How much longer, when you got caught for the Pikeville charges, did the escape charge come up?
So they got arrested, I think, in last August, again in October. And in this last a while.
So the last time that you got arrested while you were out on bond was in October? And then when did the escape charge come out?
January. You know, I was called, faxed over paperwork, Judge Keith Hall called, I had Zoom court, you know, never was I trying to escape. Talked to the clerk's office.
And remember, Judge Mullins wasn't dead at this time. Judge Mullins, let's see, this was in, I forget the date that he said. It was 2022, wasn't it? So this was 2 years before Mickey went in there and did what he did. So the golden boy was still here.
Did Ben ever have to fill out any paperwork for you or
At the
anything?
beginning, yeah.
Right when you got out of jail?
Yeah, the first time, like, you have to meet him every Wednesday, I think at 4:00, they're supposed to. The first Wednesday, you know, he filled out paperwork.
But do you know any other paperwork after that? Do you know what the name of that company that does that is? You were just told to meet Ben.
And then Patty, I know what there's a lady named Patty that works with him. And, you know, she had told me I would not talk to Ben no more. And then just disappeared.
Patty had to know something. Patty had to know something. If she was telling these girls that they weren't allowed to talk to Ben anymore, she had to know something, or she suspected something. She had to have. Why would she tell them they weren't allowed to talk to Ben anymore?
I was like, how do you cover that? How do I just disappear?
That's what he said.
He said, all right, don't worry about it.
Well, I will probably be giving you phone calls from time to time as I look into this further.
Oh, I
I'm
bet.
sure I'm gonna have more questions, more
I bet.
information. And then, so if you see my phone number also pop up, I'll give you the phone call to 233-6747. Do you have voicemail?
I do.
So if I can leave voicemail. 'Cause I got a good feeling that I'm gonna think of something
Right.
that, you know,
You're like me, I forget things.
a follow-up question.
Can I have another card, please?
Another,
Now, that's the second time she asked him for another one of his cards. Listen to what he says. I remember this from the last time that we watched or listened to it. She said she had left her card with her landlord, the card that he gave her the first time. And so she asks him, and this is the second time in this audio within like the last 5 minutes that she's asked him for another card. Listen to what he says.
you gonna run me out of business cards?
Yes. Do you think I have any concern, like, for my safety or anything? I know being long, you know, when this first started, which he was bad, but then there's a little boy that said something, and so like my son and ex-husband, and to magistrate, it's like, you know, she better be careful. She's dealing with an interesting.
You know, I don't know who, you know, I never have anybody to talk to. I don't want to say you're safe or you're not safe because I can't be responsible for you.
Right.
I can say that nobody, the only person that I would know that probably knows that we're going to discuss a talk with you is the assistant county attorney in Letcher. That's it.
Oh, yeah,
You know,
that's it.
Justin, who's present here, he's a detective with us.
Yeah.
And the guy that was with me the other day is a detective with us. So we don't tell anybody
Right.
that you even have talked to us.
I'm sure my cousin said, you know, they're just freaked because I'm not afraid. At first I was.
If you have told somebody, then it got out.
Right.
But I feel confident that the assistant county attorney is not going to say anything.
Me
He
too.
The
doesn't.
boy that messaged me from over there, that I didn't say that to, he's like, I was offered $500 for information. From you, or something like that. And I was like, that what?
So she just said that a boy from here in Letcher County called her and said that he had been offered $500 for information on her.
No, and that's the only reason why I'm asking.
So what's the boy's name?
Justin Lucas, which is the boy that Ben warned me about. Oh,
Said
no.
that he
I'll tell you exactly what he said. You know, like I told my son, you know, I've run some things on the map and it's kind of, you know, I stand up for myself.
Justin what?
Lucas.
Justin Lucas.
Uh-huh.
So he said that somebody's offered him $500 for.
See. Let's see what he said. Okay.
I think those two women who were,
Is this the start of the conversation? I don't guess I had this other day then on the phone.
Well,
So they phone.
right.
she's got the text messages right there between her and Ben, where Ben sends her the message and tells her to watch out for this boy, that he's a rat. She's showing Easter the text messages from Ben right now.
I'm sure you can get over.
So, anything else there?
That's really it.
Let me see here. Forgot to check. He says, hey, I just got offered $500 for info.
Oh, right.
Oh no, it's not from
But
Ben,
no,
it's from the
somebody in
boy.
Angie's family, his wife said he is. Angie's real close family.
It's from the boy. Saying I just got offered $500 for information on you.
No, I'm sure I got married because, you know, he knows I live in a big old house by myself and it's kind of secluded. So, I mean, like I got married.
Now, let's just go over some text here. So it looks like he says, hey, I just got offered $500 for info I got. You're saying what info? Lord, I'm thinking about doing it. It's $500. What are you talking about? By the way, I got married to who? So, and then he goes on and says, see, I had a whore down here. I like always pass out the letting her use my phone. So I don't understand what he's.
I mean, I don't understand the information that, cause he, I mean, he knew, everybody knew it was common knowledge, that, you know, being done that. You go over there, you know, with me and several other people, it was common knowledge. So I don't know what information he's talking about, but,
Because he's not saying he's wanting he's wanting to pay him $500. He doesn't say to find information on you.
Right.
It really doesn't say what. Does it?
Well, she took it that
Does
way.
his guest see you on my messages, looks and see a lot about Ben.
I wouldn't trust his interpretation of it anyway. He's already trying
I
to
mean, he didn't say me in particular.
minimize it.
About 500 married to who? Some picture, what are you talking about? When he kept telling me to type in, you know, Ben's name, and I finally did, and I didn't see nothing besides this right here. I don't know what he was talking about.
I'm not sure.
At one point, he said he was having an affair with Ben's wife. So,
She,
Yeah, like I said,
she said at one point the boy said he was having an affair with Ben's wife, Angie. Hey, listen, there's a ton of swingers here in Letcher County, buddy. Now, there's a ton of high society swingers. They like that stuff, man. And they ain't ashamed of it one bit. Weren't ashamed of it one bit. Ain't none of these men been ashamed of their behavior one bit until now. Now all of a sudden everybody's running and ducking and dodging and hiding and threatening and all kinds of good stuff. They should have been doing that 20 years ago when all this started way back before then. It was just different players, you know. The game stays the same. The only thing that changes are the players. This stuff's been going on in Letcher County forever, from what I understand.
I don't know these people,
Right.
and I'm just now getting involved, so I have no information. You know, nobody's told me what people I've talked to says that, you know, you're in danger or anything like that. I can't give you any.
I sent all of that, so you could,
Well,
you know.
like I said, I can't answer that whether you're safe or you're not safe, because I can't be there to protect you. But I do not at this time have any information to say otherwise. And
That
as
doesn't
far as you meeting over here,
That doesn't even make any sense. I can't tell you if you're safe or not safe because I can't be here to protect you. That doesn't even make any sense.
if you don't tell anybody, then, like I said, the only person that, and would be he knows the county attorney has actually gave us your name to somebody that we would need to talk to. That other than that, so.
And they're implicating a whole circle of those people. You think the county attorney or the assistant county attorney didn't tell everybody in that courthouse? Because news travels so fast there. Gossip travels faster in the courthouse in Whitesburg than it does anywhere.
He knows that a conversation is going to take place at some point, but I feel confident he's not going to say anything.
I
The
don't.
attorney is not even. We have a prosecutor that's assigned to this case, and she's out of Frankfurt, so the prosecutor's not even from around here either. And you know, everything else that's people that's been with me has been in-house that works for the attorney general. So
Happy birthday, number 9.
so nobody else.
Yeah, he just, you know, wanted to ask, and I wanted to double check, you know, because I am ashamed of this. But, you know, I'm kind of not. I'm kind of glad that it's out.
Well, I mean, as this gets out and we start talking, obviously, you know, people's going to say stuff. At some point, you know, we'll probably have to talk to Ben and.
Yes, it's all over Letcher County papers and stuff, you know. So I've had phone calls and.
I don't think I think the secrets got out when your civil attorney filed the civil lawsuit. That kind of put a damper on how we do things.
She did not ask him, did anybody say my name? She said, am I safe? Do I have to fear for my safety? And now he's kind of taken this whole thing and twisted it once again. Like she's concerned that anybody, she already knows that it's been in the paper. She didn't say that. She did not say that. But he's twisted it and now made it sound like she's, you know, like she doesn't want her name to be known or something. Like that was a dig, what he said. When your lawyer files a civil lawsuit, it's kind of hard to stay. He needed his.
It's not secret lawsuit.
I know. When I left here and went home, I seen a civil suit. I was like, oh my God. You know, because I hate all of it. I wish I could change it all.
But like I said, I don't know if I hear anything that's you know, would be concerning about you. I definitely tell you.
Oh, I bet you would, buddy.
But I don't know anything. I can
bet you
keep you, you know, aware of some stuff that we're doing. You know, because if we do some stuff, we try to keep it as low as we can because it helps us get accomplished what we need, so.
And I'm trying to get back to living a normal life a little bit, you know.
I understand that.
So,
Well, this process won't be a quick one. I'm sure, you know, criminal investigation is a long drawn out process.
so what happens next? You'll be investigating, and if you have any questions,
I'll call you. And we'll, once I compile the investigation and we think we've done all we can do and talk to everybody we can talk to, then it'll go to a prosecutor, although a prosecutor will be on board with me throughout this. And of course, it's ultimately up to her what she thinks she can see and what, you know, she'll make some decisions and like I told you before, if there's something there, then it will go to a grand jury. Not, you know, sometimes the case will go to a grand jury and they don't do anything. Sometimes the case is not even worth going to a grand jury. But that's a prosecutor will look at that. And they're the ones that decide, you know, that knows the laws and that stuff. And that told you the prosecutor is out of Frankfurt office. So it's not a local prosecutor. You have confidence in,
Oh, yeah.
you know,
He
whatever
did a great
happens, it'll
job.
be as straight up as it possibly could be. There will not be any
that's what I'm
local
saying. I said,
politics
that real
involved.
careful, you know, you said, and the judge, Kyle, actually was bragging on you. So he was a good guy, and I said he seemed to be.
I don't know.
Don't you? He used to be the county attorney in Pike County.
I've had a couple of cases in Pike County with the Commonwealth attorney up there. The old Commonwealth attorney, he's not even there.
I don't know.
Keith Bartley.
I don't know. He, you know, when I mentioned your name.
I may have met him.
Right. And me and Keith, you know, our kids went to school together. So that's.
They don't even know each other. These people don't know each other, but they don't give a damn. As long as they are on that side of that little thin blue line, they're willing to, obviously, they must be willing to risk their own careers for someone they've never even met. Wow. That is indoctrination.
He was like, you know.
I can't say that I've not met him because I work a lot of counties, so I might have.
Well, he's
I may
in
see
good
him.
hands. He said you're in good hands because, you know, he knows how nervous I was. And,
Well, yeah, our office will do.
You're in good hands. Yeah, buddy. They were in great hands.
You know, like I told you yesterday or the other day, you know, it is what it is.
Right.
That's the way we look at it. That makes any difference if you're the Pope or you're a drug addict. What you have told me, you know, obviously I have to corroborate stuff. It doesn't matter if you was a drug dealer or the Pope tell me, I still got to do that. It's all the same.
and I appreciate that.
And what you've told me, I'm going to do my best to cooperate and work. You know, once I get in this, like I said, may not find anything, may not find anybody else to talk to.
Oh.
But we'll just have to kind of see what develops. It's at the onset now. So
Now, Bethany said something about 4 girls that went to the jail and said something. And she said, I'm getting a bunch of calls.
Well, I will tell you, we're hearing the same stuff. What you're saying is, you know, this person, but when we're having a hard time getting hold of those people. So,
Well, if you talk to all of them the way that you've talked to these, I see why nobody wants to talk to you, buddy. Yeah, when they send somebody like you to talk to all these people, the word starts to get around. Yeah, during my interview, he was basically shaming me and turning it all around on me. Yeah, that's going to run all of them wanting to talk to you. That makes all victims want to come forward. It sure does, doesn't it?
He said, I'm scared. I don't blame them.
well, I mean,
We didn't even cross still over in Letcher County. I've not been back, and I have to go to
the
the
thing about it, at this point, there's nothing to be scared of because if you come forward and tell me your story, they can't do anything to you.
Oh, really?
You know, if Ben calls you and says, you know, if you talk or something,
right.
What you need to do is if Ben starts to call you or does something, you need to record the conversations. You need to get your other phone and hit record, put it on speakerphone where we can
Right.
hear what the conversation's about.
Because that's the only way they'll ever do a damn thing. They have to have a recording, a video. They won't do nothing for normal people without something like that. You know how many times my mom had been robbed? They wouldn't do nothing. You got a video? We had a video. Well, you can't really make them out very well. You can't really say 100% that's who that was. It's worthless to even call the police on a lot of things around here.
And then after,
Because you're only risking yourself to go to jail anytime you have any contact with them. They might just not like how you say hello.
the conversation, next phone call, you need to be to me. And if anybody threatens you because you're trying to be a witness, there's charges that we can send out on them to do that. Nobody can intimidate a witness.
Nobody can manipulate a witness's statement either, but we've sat here all week and listened to you apparently do it.
That's against the law. And I assure you, if I call the prosecutor at any given time and say, hey, our witness somebody's intimidating her, and there's evidence of that, she will seek warrants quickly. It won't, we're not gonna let anybody.
Right, my biggest fear is to end up back in jail. I mean, that's
But now, if you don't break the law,
right.
but now if you get out and get filed and start driving,
Right, exactly.
you're on your own.
Right.
But if
It's just like,
nobody's gonna be able to trump charges up on you. I mean, we're past.
Nobody can trump charges up on you. That seems like that's all they've been doing to everybody. Well, maybe not everybody, but several. And we see charges that are up on one that's come forward right here. She swears up and down she's innocent. She did not do it. But because she spoke out, we see her indicted. And she was indicted by the prosecutor who had to recuse from her case. Oh, he got it indicted and then he recused. Oh, okay. Okay, so that makes it okay. Yeah. I'm waiting to see me get indicted on something. Oh, if that happens,
That.
right, now we're past it. It's like an escape, that's,
you'll really know.
Of course, the problem with the escape is we need to look at, and I just don't know, is it because of the circumstances or is it, it's just, we just have to kind of see.
right.
I don't think anybody's going to get an escape on it. Certainly that's not going to happen.
God, no, I don't know.
But
And I called it escape too. I mean, escape? What are you talking about?
let me take a picture of that
I
bracelet,
said, here's my bracelet.
'cause I don't want it.
I don't either. It's right. I
Yeah.
don't get that. It's a good reminder, but I'm gonna give it to Nate, I think, or I don't know. Hopefully he'll take it, but I don't want it.
Is there lights that light up on it?
Normally, yes.
On the bottom here when it's working?
Yes.
You can't turn it on and off.
Well, I have a charger. He didn't have a charger with it.
But could you have turned it on and off yourself?
Oh, no.
Once it's activated, it's active.
It's active, yeah.
And the one time you said you cut it off?
Yeah.
How did you cut it off?
So I take scissors and cut it. I did. He was busy doing something and I was going to Lexington to see my nephew, one of my nephews, right after the other one died. And he kept making everything. He said, just take scissors and cut it.
And then you ended up giving that back to him, and then he gave you another one. Is that on any kind of messages or is that a voice phone call?
I think it was a voice call. There might have been some text messages, but somebody had turned off my iCloud, and some of my messages didn't get saved from the past. So,
All right, any other questions for me?
no, I don't think so.
You got both your phones?
With my Bible and my bracelet, and it seems so crazy, don't it? Okay.
I've seen crazier.
Have you? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good. Thank you, and
He said he'd seen crazier. Really? You've seen crazier than this case, than these accusations. Then listen, this is absolutely what I see. This looks to me like an organized crime syndicate that they could charge RICO charges on all of them. I don't know why they couldn't. All they have to do is do search warrants, and they're going to find. All they have to do is do a real investigation.
appreciate it. I really do.
You're very welcome. And like I said, like I told you the other day, we'll do our very best to see what's going on. I mean, that's all we can do, but I can assure you that it will be done thorough and done right.
Yeah.
And, so you don't have to, local town stuff, doesn't play a role in this.
They already know what happened. They're the ones who've been living it. And he says, well, we're going to look and see what happened. So basically they're saying, Ben did take a plea bargain, but he got 6 months in jail. There was no investigation into the others. It looks to me like somebody was a fall guy. And once they got one, that was the end of it. Was there an agreement made with somebody that we'll just go after this one and we're not even gonna look at any of the others? So does that mean that Mickey knew what he was up against if he was going to try and stop any of this stuff? I don't know. I don't know if he was guilty on anything himself or not. Only he knows that. Only he knows. Only Mickey knows what all he knows, And if you were privy to all of this bad stuff, it might make you absolutely petrified. And it would also make all those other people petrified. Nobody's going to listen to these women, but they might listen to a sitting sheriff. They might. We're certain, and there were so many people that have had, who have been having their own set of misconduct, that they all had their own agendas. Like anybody who would have been alone with Mickey would have been talking to him to save their own skin. You ain't got this one talking to him to save that one. They're saving their own skin because they know what they've done. So if you got Mickey in the middle of all these people, and he's getting ready to sit down for depositions, and there's investigations trying to spawn around, I bet he was getting it from every which direction. And there were plans. You've got planning. You've got people doing different things, playing different roles, working together to try and produce a certain outcome. Now, if that ain't organized crime, I don't know what is. When they're doing criminal acts, they're committing criminal acts. You can't coercively inmates or anybody who is under your supervision. There's a thing called sexual harassment. There's policies that, I mean, it just, how they could let this continue without even looking into it, just blowing it off. That ain't true. That couldn't happen today. Really?
Because I tell people, and I've heard this stuff like that was normal. And I'm like, this is not normal. I know it can't be.
No, it's
No.
not normal.
But thank you, I appreciate it.
You're welcome. I will, like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to give me a call. If I have questions, I'll probably be calling you.
I'm gonna call. And,
See if she wants to, if she's got information, you can, meet and give my phone number and I'll call her, meet and talk to her or talk to her on the phone, whatever we need to do.
I'm gonna try to get a hold of Chad while I'm over there.
Let me know.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Today's date is February 10th, 2022. It's 10:52. Been able to prep the tape before she came in, but present when she came in was Detective Justin Cooley and Matt Easter with the Attorney General's office. It'll be the end of the recording.
All right, guys. Well, it's after midnight. We'll go ahead and close this one down. Tomorrow night, we're going to listen to Ben's. We'll listen to Ben's recording tomorrow. And we will absolutely, truth and transparency. We've not seen you in a long time. Me and our girl Hillbilly Crime got to do a live from the bar where the judge and sheriff had lunch and walk around the town. Well, you come on down here, honey, and we will absolutely do it. That's a date. We'll set us a date, honey. All right, guys. Well, you all have a great rest of your evening. Sleep well, sleep tight, and stay warm, stay blessed. Lord Jesus, we just thank you for another day, Lord. We thank you that you allowed us to wake up this morning. We thank you that you allow us this platform to get to know each other and be able to just share our experiences and meet new friends and meet new family members, Lord. We love you so much, and we thank you for just all the blessings that you give us. I thank you for the healing that you've given each and every one of us that have needed it, whether it be physical, emotional, mental, but above all, spiritual, Lord. We pray for the lost, that their hearts will soften and allow you in. We just lift your name up, Lord. We lift you up, and we love you. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you for saving my soul, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen, amen. I ain't the best prayer person, but prayer. But we'll give it a shot, huh? All right, guys. Well, we will see you tomorrow, okay? Bless y'all. Bye.
You can't hide from hillbilly crime.
You can't hide from hillbilly crime.
You can't hide from hillbilly crime.
You may not know that there's a crew in town. The head hillbillies are making their rounds. Small town whispers loud and clear. The sheriff shot the judge in his chambers chair.
Sheriff got a secret he won't keep. Judge shot dead in his disbelief. A lot of people have some stories to tell. Dark pass away, get the sound of a shotgun shell.
All the secrets spill on down. Voices loud in this old town. From the courthouse to the ground. Rumors fly and they can't be bound.
Neighbors hide behind their blinds. Whisper tales of troubled minds. Skeletons covering the mountainside. A treacherous reality in the pines.
Winter reveals the hidden lies. Moonlight couldn't mask the cries. Shadows caught in sunlit skies. There's no cover.